Hello and welcome everybody to this video. I am at Tower Hill today and this is one of the ley nodes on the Stonehenge Ley Line, and I'll be going through over the ley line today, discussing some of the history to these locations. The Tower Hill is an elevated spot, so the Tower of London is next door to it, and this is on the Tower Hamlets in the east of London, just outside the city of London. And this is actually within Trinity Square Gardens. And as you can see, this building is absolutely fantastic, unbelievable building.
According to legend, beneath the Tower of London is the head of Bran the Blessed. Bran the Blessed was a giant and the King of England in Welsh mythology. His head was placed underneath the tower to protect England from invasion. Bran translates to ravens in Welsh, and this connects to the ravens that fly around the Tower of London. A belief holds that if the Tower of London ravens are lost or fly away, the crown will fall and Britain with it. This ley line runs from Barking Abbey onto Bow Common Church, St George's on the east, the Royal Mint, Tower Hill where we are at the moment, Tower of London, Southwark Cathedral, Palace of Westminster, Westminster Abbey, St Mary's Roman Catholic Church in Cadogan Street, St Mary Le Bolton, Feltham, Staines, and a few more locations, and onto the famous Stonehenge, which has a huge number of ley lines passing through it.
This is All Hallows by the Tower. This is an early medieval Anglican church, one of the oldest churches in the city of London actually. It survived the Great Fire of London, so it has a huge amount of historical significance, this building. I'm always very suspicious about when I see wind vanes on top of these huge structures, and you think, wow, they built these whole structures and then they plonk a wind vane on. Now I think maybe there was some other significance to these spires. And you can see right next door to it we have the Shard, which is kind of disguised by the light at the moment, but you can actually see the sun is actually hitting just right over the Shard.
The next node on this ley line is Southwark Cathedral, and we pass through London Bridge, which has a rich history and once was one of the main shopping streets from the city of London. This once had 140 houses on the bridge, originally only 10 to 11 foot wide. It had shops, and up to 1831 it had a chapel on it. Earliest evidence of a possible bridge dates back to as early as AD 43. In the mid-18th century, work began to remove the shops and houses from the bridge to widen the road. In 1824, a new London Bridge of 5 stone arches was finally begun, and now it just stands as a concrete bridge. So this ley line continues onto Southwark Cathedral and passes some incredible locations. One of which is very interesting is the Golden Hind, which is a replica of the Francis Drake ship used to navigate the world between 1577 to 1580. Now, Drake used the Theatrum Orbis Terram map created by Abraham Ortelius to navigate the world, and one very interesting location that appears on this map is Tartaria. Onto Southwark Cathedral, which started as a church in the 12th century. It was a place of medieval pilgrimages with routes to Canterbury. Pilgrims would visit the shrine of St Thomas Becket, as Suffolk was a key part of the journey to Canterbury Cathedral. This was apparently William Shakespeare's place of worship, and the churchyard was also the location of the original Shakespeare Globe Theatre. This cathedral has an unusual bell, and the bells are famous for having an irregularity, with one of them is known for its offbeat tone. This is believed to have been caused by the bell being slightly cracked. There are many old world buildings placed on this ley line and some fascinating locations along this line. And the next node from Southwark Cathedral is the Palace of Westminster, which is the seat of the British Parliament, with the earliest parliamentary sessions taking place there in 1295. So there is a huge history to this location. In 1834 there was a fire that destroyed much of the original medieval palace of Westminster, including the House of Lords and the House of Commons. Next to the palace we have Big Ben, and this apparently completed construction in 1859 by Charles Barry and Augustus Pugin. The tower is now called the Elizabeth Tower, and Big Ben is actually in reference to the Great Bell inside the tower. We also have the Coronation Ley Line running through the palace, and this is also one of the main ley lines in London. So it's by no accident this is where the English Parliament resides. Very close to Westminster Palace you have Westminster Abbey, which contains the coronation chair and has been used for coronation since the reign of King Edward I in 1296. The connection to the stone of Scone, which is very well connected to the coronation line and a key part to these ley lines, as this is where they intersect with a huge concentration of earth energy. Once you stand in this location and look around at the old world buildings, you get a deep sense of what this world once looked like. The ley line continues onto St Mary's Catholic Church in Chelsea, which is a Roman Catholic church built between 1877 and 1879 by John Francis Bentley, who was also the architect for Westminster Cathedral. This is one of the oldest Roman Catholic parishes in central London. Then this ley line continues on and passes other locations out of London and all the way down to Stonehenge on Salisbury Plain in Wiltshire. Underneath Stonehenge, there are many subterranean waterways that radiate from beneath the Hillstone of Stonehenge and the Altar Stone. These streams produce a geomagnetic potency as well as producing a triad basis aquatic line that water diviners and dowsers are familiar with. Standing stones are rooted in the soil and gravel above intensely potent geomagnetic ley lines or aquatic ley lines. Such knowledge was taught amongst the Irish Druids and the British Druids. The various megaliths function like Telluric capacitors or batteries, continually absorbing and releasing this form of magnetic-based electricity, which the Neolithic tribes, the Celtic Britons and the Druids used for healing purposes. But this potent energy can also be inverted. The unique Great Circle at Stonehenge is also situated above several meandering fault lines which encircle the monument. Humans were once fully aware of the subterranean waterways and these ley lines, and intentionally built sacred sites upon the geomagnetic nodes to create potent dimensional portals into the astral plane. This is how our old world operated, and these ley lines were of huge significance in our human development at one stage. This is just some snippets of history we discuss on the Stonehenge Ley Line walk. You can book tickets on Eventbrite, and there are many more guided ley line walks with me coming up in London. Thank you for watching everyone, and please subscribe if you haven't already. See you in the next video.